Episode 337 of the TV Dudes, recorded June 16th, 2021. Beast Mode. The TV Dudes enter Beast Mode with the return of Kyle. 4 TV Dudes? Join us as we discuss the beastly children of Sweet Tooth on Netflix, the Beast Mode competitors on LEGO Masters Season 2 on Hulu, the Beast crossing the pond to join the American version of The Chase in Season 2 on Hulu, and the Bible's Great Beast returns in Lucifer Season 5 Part 2 on Netflix. Plus, will Nick and Les reveal their beastly nature when savaging Disney Plus's The Bad Batch, while Randy and Kyle talk about how much they love it? All this and more, but before we get to all that, I'm Randy.
I'm Les.
I'm Nick.
I'm Kyle.
And we did not work the order out beforehand.
No, we're 4 TV Dudes. We've not had to do the order. We used to do. We used to know who would go, but now it's all thrown off. It's chaos. It's Beast Mode.
I just thought it was like hierarchy. Like I was the new guy, but I guess Kyle has lost all his rights and privileges.
I realized as I was speaking, it should be probably alphabetical, but then Randy went first, and my brain just.
Yeah, I always go first because I'm doing the intro. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we did it alphabetical, and then as he was going, I was like, I guess I'm just going to wait for my cue. I guess we're going.
Yep, and the cue was, we didn't have one.
Yes.
I'm a little rusty. I've been off the horse for a bit. I got bucked off the TV horse.
The story of that intro is that we didn't prepare
it. But you're back, Kyle, and we curated an episode for you, too. Like, we got you a game show.
I was wondering about that.
It's actually just coincidental, but we did hold Lucifer off because you requested we hold Lucifer off. So, but yeah, we got Lucifer for you. We got the Beast on the Chase for you. We got Lego Masters, and we're talking about Bad Batch, which if Les and Nick had their way, we'd never talk about again.
This is like when you come to work and somebody's got donuts, but it's all your favorite.
Isn't one of our Patreon requests a British game show as well? The Taskmaster?
That is correct. That is on our Patreon. Yep.
Oh
yep.
yeah.
Ooh. That actually has been popping up in my queue, and I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, we got a whole YouTube playlist in our TV Dudes
Patreon. You have Kyle's interest. You have intrigued the Kyle.
But as always, let's get started with our TV diaries.
The Diaries of the Television Dudes. Brought to you by only the finest cocaine wine.
Kyle, as the returning TV dude, why don't you run it down for us? What you got this week?
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, it's been kind of nice getting back to the TV because while I was gone, I did not watch very much TV. In fact, I think I caught like a random episode, like episode 1 of Murder, She Wrote, just out of curiosity. And I was like, oh, this feels kind of good. But that's like all the TV watching I did outside of how-to tutorials, fixing the home and stuff. But yeah, I started back with, had to watch that In the Heights over there on HBO, which really sucked right before my AC went out because I kept thinking about like, oh no, it's like In the Heights. We're going to be singing and we're going to be sweating.
You had an immersive experience, Kyle. You got the full 4D.
Yeah, the 4D experience now in your home. Thanks, Disney. That's what the D stands for. Oh, wait, no. That's the next thing. That was HBO. No, I watched Cruella too. That was over on Disney. And my sister-in-law actually footed the bill for that. I think that was like $30 to watch it the weekend it came out.
Yeah, my buddy Nick at the store does that. He has now watched Raya and the Last Dragon, Cruella, and whatever the other one. Oh, Mulan. He's bought all of them. He's given Disney $90 on top of his Disney Plus money. And I'm like, man, I've watched 2 of those movies, and I'll watch Cruella when it comes out. But the extra $30 is a bridge too far. Until you talk about Marvel, I will definitely pay it for Black Widow.
Oh my gosh, for sure. I was a little surprised at how much I thought Cruella was worth it. Like, had I gone into theaters to see it, because even, I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but even how they incorporate Dalmatians into the story is like laugh out loud ridiculous. Like, I literally stopped the whole family to just go, "You're kidding me. What did that Dalmatian just do?"
That Dalmatian's got Matrix kicks, man. I
Yeah.
I watched the pitch meeting for it because I want to see it, but I don't care about spoilers. So I watched the pitch meeting. The pitch meeting for it is one of their best. It's fantastic.
Also, listeners at home, you have this on recording. Randy does not care about spoilers.
For Cruella, let me be
Canon
specific.
from here on. Never.
Damn
Nope,
it!
You said it.
Yeah, I can edit the
Nick-
Cruella
Nick
part
just-
out. So you're fucked.
Oh, well, I didn't spoil anything. I mean, it's a movie about Cruella de Vil. Of course, there's gonna be some weird Dalmatian stuff in it. I was just like, man, they went real weird. No, everything else we're probably going to talk about tonight. The one thing I did catch the week before last was that season finale to Mighty Ducks Game Changers. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I take it back. I did watch that while I was out. That was kind of and Bad Batch. I guess technically were like my go-tos. And then also caught King of Staten Island on a plane, which
No.
I was expecting it to be pretty good, and it was pretty good, but damn, it was long, and it starts in a weird spot and ends in a weird spot. Like maybe this was even a longer movie, and they were like, we got to cut some off at the beginning of it. But anyways, no, really good stuff. Yeah, I'm back, baby.
Nick, what about you?
Oh, let's see. What did I watch this week? I watched a little more Jujutsu Kaisen, which is pretty good. Thanks, Mandy, for putting that on the docket there. Definitely let Randy know if you have any other suggestions, because again, don't tell me directly.
Damn it.
That's not how our relationship works.
Wait, yeah. No, I'm the go-between. You two must never meet, or else the universe will explode.
Well, we might be the same person, so I'm afraid time cop rules.
Exactly.
So we might not want to occupy the same space at the same time.
Ooh, Norman Bates action.
Wait, are you saying are you guys gender flip variants of the same person in a time travel thing? That'd be weird. Who would do that?
I don't know, and who would forget to talk about it this week anyway? If that were the case. Yeah, what else did I watch? I watched all the homework shows. I really liked Lucifer and Sweet Tooth. Surprisingly, I didn't think that the coming back, I was like, both of those shows I was like, I don't know about these, but coming back, like overall I was like, oh, very very satisfied with those.
You did not have a irregulars type experience with it?
Yeah, I didn't have an irregular experience. I was very regular. I had my fiber I had my fiber this week. I was very regular. I don't know if that's gonna be is that gonna be a thing for me for like the rest of time of like is that's just I'm the irregulars guy and the anime guy?
Yes.
It was yes, it was your thing. You didn't know the deal with the TV homework. We didn't tell you, and so you suffered through the irregulars, and that should be.
That's like the time that Randy watched that Tracy Ullman show. Not the Tracy Ullman
Yes.
show, which was
Oh.
good, but the other Tracy Ullman
Yes.
show, which was very bad.
Yes, Joe Parsons totally irregulared me into watching the Tracy Ullman show.
Yeah. I watched Housebroken actually. Catch up on it.
Oh yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think? I mean, I don't think we weren't super into. What do you think as it goes on?
I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Really?
No, fuck no. Of course, it's an animated war crime. What are you talking about?
I couldn't remember if you texted that to just me or to everybody in the thread.
I was gonna say it's so bad.
It's terrible. Why would you think I even
There's
attempted
just
like
the
that?
screaming all caps. Why would you
I
waste
don't
this
know.
voice cast that I got on my phone? It's like, oh, Nick, watch Housebroken.
I can't believe they waste such a talented cast on this bullshit.
Man, and it's one of the Veep writers too. I thought maybe it had gotten better or something. It seems like it should, but I guess not.
Yeah, it's about a therapy class for dogs, but also a whole episode is about a shit one of them took on the carpet, and it's a huge runner.
I know. I saw that
I
one.
was like, God,
that was
this is terrible.
that was I was out, and I thought maybe it turned a corner with episode 3 or something.
I watched the Lion King remake, which I know everyone's made this joke, but still it stands to be made. Why does was it Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Why is it sung during the day? That's pretty like, if you don't want us to make fun of it, You really can't set them up like you can't really softball them over the plate like that.
That seems like an unforced error. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're gonna softball them like that, you can't be mad at me when I take a fucking swing at it.
Yeah, that turnover's your team's fault.
That's why we drive on the parkway and park on the driveway.
So that got me to watch the original again, along with the sequels, Lion King 2 and Lion King 1.5, which are a great trilogy. In fact, that you get to watch Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, and then Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
Nice.
Okay, so I've seen the direct video sequel where it's like is it Scar's daughter? How is that? How does that
It's Scar's
work?
son.
Simba's
Yeah, Kovu.
Scar's son, and yeah. And I actually remember liking that. Some of those direct-to-video sequels, like the Aladdin ones, they're pretty solid.
Yeah, they're not too
I
bad.
kind of like a lot of those.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
the Aladdin ones are like the pilot and then the end finale of that TV show that they had.
Oh, okay.
And that's how they treat it. And actually, it's pretty good to watch it that way. And also, the Lion King sequel number 2 has Andy Dick die horribly. So it's like, oh, solid. I like. Let me watch that again.
Wish fulfillment.
I watched Tenet. Christopher Nolan, I'm pretty sure used to be a good director. I think, but
I know. I was like, can you tell me what happened in Tenet, particularly the part about 2/3 through when I fell asleep?
I just want to watch it next to Christopher Nolan and really like ruin his day of like when some guy comes up to like and he's in reverse in time and he's fighting our protagonist. Is it him? Is it him from the future fighting himself? No, I'm pretty sure it is.
It'd be great to have been on set, like, hey, I got an idea. And then he whips out a calculator, presses a couple buttons, and he goes, that won't sync up mathematically. Let's do my idea.
Yeah, but who's behind us all? Who sent him back? Did he send himself back, Chris? Yeah, Chris, because every fucking time travel story ends like that. You are the 1700th person to do this, not the first.
We're trapped in a loop until one of you burns this movie.
The good thing, Nick, is that now that you've watched Tenet, you can watch the pitch meeting about Tenet, which I hear is just scathing.
I'm surprised you'd have to understand Tenet to actually do a pitch meeting about it. So,
and that's the thing. Like I can't watch it because I'd have to watch Tenet, and I'm not willing to make that sacrifice.
Yeah, I think the last thing I watched was then I caught up on Reincarnated as a Slime, which, speaking of pitch meeting, there's got to be one on that if they did anime, because, like before when I said that it was a show that I liked it because the conflict was kind of low stakes, about this monster nation building itself and economic powerhouse. Well, suddenly a bunch of humans like attack and kill a couple of the monsters, and then there's a human army about to attack them. And I was like, oh boy, it's going to be hard for them to resolve this without, resulting to violence and just killing everybody. And I guess the pitch meeting guy would go, well, actually, it's going to be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, they are just going to kill absolutely everybody and slaughter 40,000 troops worth of people. Oh my God.
Wow.
And it'd be like, yeah, it's going to be a massacre, an absolute slaughter. Wow. But it's okay because they're a religious army and they're evil, so it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Would an army of 40,000 people involve a significant number of draftees that really aren't involved in this on a political level, just need to do this in order to feed their families or not to get persecuted by the law of their given land? I don't know. Fair enough. Oh, well, he's got to do it to become a demon lord as well so he can save some of his friends. Oh, okay, I see. So that he needs to kill all these people to get their souls and stuff. Like, yeah, he needs 20,000 souls in order to become a demon lord. Okay, but you said there was 40,000 people. Yeah, Well, you said he only needs 20,000 for the souls, so what about those other 20,000? Fuck them.
I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about that.
I'm gonna need you to get all the way back up off my back with the numbers of souls, sirs.
I'm gonna get all the way off that thing.
Math is hard. So yeah, it got like, I guess it just kind of out of nowhere, and I liked their excuse too of when the humans are getting slaughtered. They're like, "What are you guys doing?" It's like, we're monsters. You attacked monsters. We got like orcs and dire wolves and dragons, and what'd you think was gonna happen? Like, I'm like, yeah, I guess. I I really don't know why I'm surprised by this, but other than that, yeah, that was my TV diaries.
Les, what do you got?
Let's see. The homework. I've got finished up. Yeah, I finished up on Hacks. I really liked how the season ends. I believe they got a season 2 last week. So
I think that's
I've
right.
heard good things.
I enjoyed that. Finished up Rebel. They burned off the last 2 of that. It didn't quite end how I wanted it to, but it infuriatingly sets up a season 2 that I would have really enjoyed. It made the thing I hated most in season 1 is the big bad in season 2, or would be. But there is no season 2 because they cut that show down to a stump.
Because network TV sucks, and I'm still pissed about Zoe's from last
Still watching
week.
Soups and Lois, which is going great. The Flash is not showing so well, though. This week is absolutely was their best of the season. I don't know if that's really true or if it's just because it followed their worst of the season last week. Either way, show's just kind of a wreck. Big Shot continuing to go amazingly well.
I refuse to believe that's a good show.
Oh no, it's
having
good.
Not seen any of it.
You liked Mighty Ducks, you will like Big Shot. You should watch it, Kyle. It's really good.
It's like in Lucifer, man. I want to be in control of my destiny. I don't want Disney to know what I want already. I want to figure that out for myself.
That they've got an algorithm that works is fucking creepy.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, one show that I won't have to sell you too hard on. There is a game show called Small Fortune, and it is Lil Rel Howard, and it is people playing a series of like tiny, like they build little tiny models of like the Oval Office or like the Eiffel Tower or whatever, and people have to do like some kind of little bitty tiny game of like flicking a thing or like operation, like reaching in and doing something, and like they have to like they build up money in the 3 games with their team, each trying to do like you can practice, but it burns money off as you for each practice, and then you go for it and you bank up money, and then you put that money in a very tiny little vault, and then they have to do like a series of challenges that basically combine all those skills to steal the money out of the vault. And it's ridiculous. Like the little tiny models and stuff.
Nice.
It is somewhere between a legitimate game show and like a YouTube prank, and it was remarkably fun. I really, Lisa and I watched an episode of it. I was like, Kyle's gonna fucking love this.
Oh, I have one last. Yeah, if I could do one last TV diaries at the very end. Speaking of YouTube pranks.
Oh, okay.
So I also watched Chase, which y'all turned me on to, and we'll talk about in a bit. Don't Trust the Bee, which I'm still enjoying. Because of a couple of interviews I got to do, I rewatched a bunch of episodes or season 1 of Showtime's Work in Progress.
Yeah.
Which finishing out that season, it's remarkable. Like that's a both brutal and really funny show, which don't normally blend well for me. And I feel like it does it really well. A lot of great people turn up in it. And season 2 is coming out, I believe, today or tomorrow. So yeah, by the time this is on air, I believe season 2 will be out, or will have started.
Okay.
And folks, go check it out. It's on Showtime. That's about it. Oh, I also watched on Disney Channel or Disney Plus. I watched a bit of Herbie 2, like the second Herbie movie from the 70s, 60s, 70s. And I gotta say, you got to go back and watch just for the extrapolated mythology of Herbie. Like that's a sentient car that decides it likes people and wants to run folks over and help with races, right? Like does comical shit like slam doors into people and like hit them with a Volkswagen. And I mean, like in the sequel, it literally opens with like driving onto someone's foot so they can't move. And the old woman that's keeping Herbie at the start of this movie walks out back, and there's like a trolley car and 2 other vehicles that ding and talk to her. And she's like, Herbie found them. So there's like a whole Maximum Overdrive sentient car ecosystem in the world of Herbie. And I feel like, despite the Lindsay Lohan movie, this is going unmined. Like, there's a lot to be done in the Herbie world here. All, like, a percentage of all cars have woke up.
You think a Maximum Overdrive crossover, maybe?
I think there should be.
Or Christine,
Life
I guess.
finds a way.
Yes.
My TV diary this week, it's mostly the homework. Just trying to catch up with the full season of Sweet Tooth. It's a busy week. But I did get out to the theater for the first time since the pandemic. I had a friend threw a birthday party and showed The Gentleman, which I went and watched that, which I really enjoyed. But this is my first time in like a regular theater, and I gotta say, guys, I didn't realize how much I missed it. I was just gonna watch In the Heights this weekend on HBO Max. Megan wanted to go see it in the theater, and so I went with her, my buddy Dave, and we saw Lin-Manuel Miranda's musical on the big screen, and I'm really glad I did. I actually think it benefited from the big screen quite a bit. And there's a nice little Alamo does a nice little intro about welcome back to theaters, which actually was surprisingly emotionally affecting to me. And then Lin-Manuel Miranda and John M. Chu do a sort of like thank you for coming out to the movies intro. And I was like, this is I know this is all marketing, but it got me. And then the movie itself was great. And so I'll probably watch it again on HBO Max a couple of times before it goes off. Other than that, it was all homework, but I did make time to watch Loki episode 2, which I've been watching every Wednesday morning. And I did find time to watch episodes 7 and 8 of Hacks, although I've not watched the last 2. I'm going to try and catch that this weekend. And then my son, Aaron, and I are making our way through the MCU because he's never seen them before. And so we got to watch Avengers, which is one of my favorite MCU movies, and that was a blast. So
this is like a kid you met recently, right?
No, you cannot tell your own kids what to do, and so I'm lucky he's finally decided to watch these with me.
I just thought by accident in your house that like
I know.
Wait, you can't tell your kids what? Okay, so my dad was totally wrong then. I wish I would have known that from my childhood. Thanks, Randy.
we got to make some phone calls right now.
Now you tell me.
Kyle, did you say you had one last thing for the TV diary?
Yes, I did. And technically, this constitutes TV diaries. Heck, let's put this in the pay-per-view diaries, because I'm talking about 2 weeks ago, Showtime's main event, Mayweather versus Logan Paul. Tell me you guys have heard anything about
I
this.
heard Logan Paul actually did not die in it, and so I'm disappointed by the whole affair.
Oh, well then, yeah, never mind. I'm not going to watch it then.
Like, I heard he actually held up okay.
So, yeah, this was $50 if you wanted to watch it live. And so many people did this. They crashed the Showtime servers. Thank God, because I was about to drop $50. I was just so intrigued by it. But yeah, this is like the culmination of years of shit talking and like hyping up this event. And I learned so much about professional boxing and fight promotion through this. Because essentially, what you have here is Logan Paul, who's an infamous character. And when you're infamous in this situation, that is actually works to your advantage. A lot of people bought those pay-per-views. They wanted to see this guy get knocked out.
I didn't pay for it, but like I would have been deeply mad if I had spent money. I mean, like the reason I'm spending money on that is not to like watch the sweet science and enjoy the craft. It's to watch Logan Paul get punched in the face.
Yep.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the problems with it is that the announcers were the Deus and Miro from Showtime, and another guy who they were all doing kind of the comedic commentary, the like, oh shit, like nobody was actually giving like real boxing analysis to it. And
so this was on the Ocho.
but no, what's interesting is that Logan Paul had this really high-profile fight with KSI, who's this British rapper, and I'm assuming a YouTuber. Maybe not. He might just be a British rapper. But they had this high-profile fight, and he lost. And I imagine going into this thing with Floyd Mayweather, he was like, I just don't want to get knocked out. Like, I'm probably not going to beat him because he's like the best technical boxer that's ever lived, but I just don't want to get knocked out. And then Floyd Mayweather comes out and is like, I'm not training for this. This guy's a YouTuber. Like, I'm gonna do this with one arm behind my back. There was even, and I mean, there was like press conferences where there's fighting, and then his brother comes out. I can't even think. His brother's even worse. Is it Jake Paul, Logan Paul, and what the other Paul? Anyways, he comes out.
I'm really happy that I don't know.
There's always three.
Yeah, there's always three. No, he comes out, and then like takes Floyd Mayweather's hat. Floyd Mayweather like punches him in the face right there. Like it's pretty crazy. On the like realistic boxing side, the thing I never knew about Floyd Mayweather is he is really good. He dodges punches. like nobody lands punches on him. He does this really cool, if Mike Tyson was all about the uppercut and the peekaboo style where he's got, his gloves in front of him, his, shoulders down in his gut. This guy is all about punch me in the face and I'm literally going to whip my face back and you're not going to hit me. But yeah, so the fight went 6 rounds and there's no winner because they're calling it an exhibition. But if you wanted to make any money off this fight betting on Floyd Mayweather, it was 10-1, 21, I think. 10-1. So you'd have to put $1,000 in to win $100, which you would have won technically, even though everybody scored it different. There were no judges. So like if you go to all the major sports websites, they'll give you cards. Some have them tied. Some have Floyd Mayweather won. But the big thing, like Les said, is that he didn't knock him out. And this just means people are going to want to see him fight again because they're going to, I want to see this guy get knocked out.
Yeah, my strategy is not get knocked out. Well, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him.
That's bonkers, and I'm really happy I didn't know anything about any of it.
No, man, you gotta know, so you want to see these people get knocked out for next time, Randy.
Speaking of weird things I don't want to know anything about, it's time for Stranger Than Fan Fiction.
Imagine, if you will, a reality containing television programs so bizarre they are indistinguishable from the ravings of a madman. Is the show you are about to hear simply a fabrication in the mind of a man with clearly nothing better to do with his time? Or is the truth indeed stranger than fan fiction?
All right, for those of you playing at home, I guess, Kyle, this is your first Stranger Than Fan Fiction, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so how it works is that I have 2 shows here. One is real, one is just fabricated from my brain, from the depths of which I do not know. And it is your job to decipher if if it is indeed real or fake. So I guess it's Kyle, since you're first back, it is your turn to choose between the 2 shows. Let me bring up my random letter generator here.
It's not totally random. They're from the English.
Ooh.
Right, yeah, that's true. There's 26 of them. And,
I bet you I can put some Klingon letter. You know what? Next week I'll do some
Cyrillic.
Klingon letters. How about that?
All
All right, so your choice is between U and E.
Oh, I gotta go with an E.
You got to go with an E? All right.
Like my favorite Entourage character.
E's no one's favorite Entourage character. That's bullshit.
I don't even think Sloan liked E best.
You don't think Jennifer Connelly likes E best?
I think she likes Turtle more. That's how I think E ranks.
I love you, bro, but you're no turtle.
I think E ranks just above drama, and that's it.
Yeah.
He knows his place.
Actually, drama is the best.
What were we talking about? All right, Stranger Than
Oh
Fan
yeah,
Fiction.
anime.
We got to get Vince the movie.
All right, so this show is a very interesting take. Usually I do a show that's interesting or weird for the sake of being weird. This one's weird on a different level, in the fact that I've never seen a show as offensive as this. All right, so this show, guys, is about a book made of pure evil, also of skin. It's made out of skin as well, just like any good Necronomicon is. It's all about this school that this book hangs out in and grants Faustian bargains to its, into the school faculty and stuff like that. And of course, they're all ironically granted wishes and stuff like that. Only these ones are gotta be some of the oddest ones I've ever seen. There's one where a fat girl, a girl in a fat suit, wishes to be skinny, and her fat becomes a monster that infects other girls in the school and makes them become fat. And in case you're wondering if she learns a lesson about beauty being skin deep, no, she tackles her fat monster into a frying thing and dies. Everyone seems to have pure intentions when they wish, and yet they all die, which I'm not sure what the message is there. Like there's this one girl who cares about the environment, right? So she wishes for the environment to be better or something, but really the book just grants like a forest in the school where everyone becomes cavemen instead, and she becomes a tree, and they kill her, and they'd be like, "You're ruining the environment," and then one of our main characters goes, "Fuck the environment," ding-doo, guitar riff, and is like, "Wait, is that the message of this? Wait, what was this?" Yeah, she dies because she had the audacity to care about the environment.
This feels like old school fairy tales where the moral is don't want things.
Don't want stuff. Don't want to better yourself or the world. Stop it.
Like, everything will kill you, don't leave the fence. Like,
I actually think that's Amazon's message to its workers.
Yeah, the janitor of this one is pretty funny because he'll find someone as they're grabbing the book, like, you already read the book, didn't you? And then the person will like nod their head like, "Okay, well, hand me my blood mop. I'm gonna need that later then." This is the only school in the district that has dental records because they have a hard time identifying their students based off of how gnarly their corpses end up being. So they have dental records to save time.
can I ask a question back?
Go for it.
Does anybody lose a hand?
Well, that
Or a
depends on
tongue?
your definition of it. Someone starts off the show without a hand, and we learn the origin of not having a hand. And then they use the book to get a new hand that can't stop jacking himself off.
Yes, okay.
So technically, he didn't lose the hand in the show unless you count the flashback as chronology.
Yeah.
In which case,
Yes, okay.
then
Yeah, but
the handless person does lose the hand.
the creme de la creme, the one that I couldn't believe I was watching on my TV was they have a gay character in the show that's being made fun of and bullied because he's gay. So he wishes, I guess, for everyone to understand what he feels like. So it makes every dude in the school gay, but it makes him straight. So you have a scene where the bullies come up and I'm sorry for the impression right now, but I'm just trying to be accurate to what the show is. But he comes up and is like, "Hey there, straighty. Me and the girls decided we don't like your kind around here." And
So the bullying stays the same. It just flips the yeah.
it just flips. Yeah. And the whole school wants to kill him for being the only straight person in the school. And they try and cure him of being straight by having two dudes make out in front of him or something. I don't know. It doesn't work. And he does this great speech of like, gay or straight, can't we all just get along sort of thing. And then the school tear him apart and rip his ass apart and kill him, like draw and quarter him and into a bloody fashion. And I guess because he's straight and they're gay, I'm pretty sure it still comes off as a hate crime, but I'm not 100% on exactly where the morality lines up on that anymore, because he's not gay when he gets killed, but then after he's killed, everyone else turns straight again. So, guys, is this show real, or am I just making up stuff to make sure that your liberal snowflake minds will be as offended as possible?
Kyle, you should take your first guess.
Oh my gosh, this is okay. I gotta say, I have what I think it is and what I want it to be. I want it to be fake because that was some expert delivery, my friend. And if you gave that just like spot on delivery, and then Les is over here like, did somebody lose a hand in this? And you're like, well, actually, somebody lost a hand. And I'm over here like, yeah, hand jokes. Like, oh my gosh, I want this to be fake so bad. But your delivery was just too good. I gotta say it's real.
All right.
I've been fooled using that clue before, Kyle. But I think this is real. I'm pretty sure this is real.
All right, Les, how about you?
I know what this show is.
Yeah, I figured Les might know.
That janitor is Jason fucking Mewes, and one of the three ghosts outside the school is McMurray.
Is McMurray, yep. That's what I say. This show is Todd
What?
in the Book of Pure Evil.
The Book of Pure Evil.
And it's the most Canadian show I've ever seen.
It is exceptional. The principal that is the son trying to impress his dad, who is the head of the Satanists and want the book for themselves. It gets so fucking ridiculous. Todd is such a fucking tool.
Everyone in the retirement home are all Satanists. Like the Satanists in the retirement home are synonymous. They're the same thing.
And like Todd is goddamn useless, but he is the center of the show.
Yeah. He's the chosen one.
I did not see that twist coming that Les knew what the show was.
It's live action.
Yep. Yeah, McMurray's outside is like, come on, little dude, you gotta embrace your destiny. Well, I understand. I gotta embrace your destiny. Pure evil. Yeah.
Oh, this is fantastic.
All right. Yeah. So, Nick, thank you for that. It's another episode of I don't know what's happening.
You're welcome. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Hey, Nick, I'll go you one better. That show has McMurray as a ghost. I just watched, oh shit, it should have been on my TV touch. I watched an episode of Winona Earp, and
all right.
the title character of that show is Mrs. McMurray.
All right.
So maybe he's a revenant and she's gotta go.
Dude, I totally forgot about that. You're right. That is Mrs. McMurray.
Metal dude, metal dude, metal dude wop. Metal dude, metal dude, metal dude wop. I think we found the key. It's his virginity. If he loses it, then holy shit, dude wop. And we'll have a lot of fun. For Todd will be the pure evil one.
A plan. What an awesome fucking plan.
No more beating his meat. No more whacking his snake. Gotta get him some muff. Get him totally laid.
Loser.
All right. Well, this is a good reminder to you can support us by going over to patreon.com/tvdudes. Throw us a buck an episode. In exchange, we had to keep up with our streaming services, pay for our hosting costs, and you get bonus content each week. This week, we were going to finish off our Shane Black movie marathon with the Nice Guys, but there was breaking news involving Batman's oral sex habits, and you know we've got to cover that. So we'll be talking about that on the podcast.
God damn it.
Why does he have the hole in the mask then?
Why doesn't it cover the lower half of his face? It doesn't make sense.
His head has handles on it, for fuck's sake.
I get it, no nose stuff, but still, the lips and the tongue are free game.
We'll get to it, guys. We'll get to it. We're going to get into it. This is going to be a TV Dude special report. But we also have our $20 showrunner level. So if there are shows you want us to throw into the rotation, you can buy in that level. Give us a couple of ideas. I cannot stress enough, they do not have to be anime, although it doesn't matter what I say because you all are giving us anime.
Randy, are you saying that someone could pay us $20 and make us watch the first season of the Mighty Ducks
whatever
cartoon?
you're saying, whatever you're about to say, no. Whatever you're saying, no, they can't do that.
No, I mean, one of them's a British game show. There's, and then some wrestling stuff.
So we actually are currently a little backlogged. So we're going to be covering one of the shows each month. This month, in fact, I think next week, we're going to talk about Bunny Drop. And then up on the docket is Jujutsu Kaisen, Taskmaster, which is a British game show, Anohana, and Psychopaths. So yeah, we'll get into all of that. But for this week, we're going to talk about American game shows and reality shows, and also Lucifer, and some other stuff. And let's start by talking about Lego Masters. Kyle, it's pretentious that you are, or it's appropriate that you're back for this because I think we all three loved Lego Masters season 1.
Oh yeah, it was this just like hidden brick gem, if you may, golden brick in the rough, with a really interesting producer. I don't know if you guys remember, but produced by Brad Pitt, the actor.
Sure, why not? He's got kids.
Well, it almost seemed like once quarantine hit, like maybe that was going to be a trend because there was a show that had Adam Scott hosting, but then Ryan Reynolds doing the voiceover.
Yes.
Which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Don't. Yep.
Don't. Yeah. So it's like, oh, these movie stars, they just, they got free time.
They
so
gotta
they're
do
sitting
something
there
during
watching
Japanese
quarantine.
had
episodes
its own thing
"Oh, I
going,
want
but
one."
like, there's been a lot of rotating celebrity hosts this past year on game shows. I know we talked about animation being the thing that was going to pick up during quarantine, but it seems like limited people, like 5 people on a set, kind of game shows. I mean, plus the crew, 205. I guess.
Oh yeah. Well, and something I noticed with they had some cooking shows on in the background. I think it might have been Top Chef, but they're doing like this revolving past winners and celebrity contestants because it's all people who can stay in the bubble. So like none of this. I haven't seen my family in 3 weeks. Oh, we're gonna fly them in. Like, no, we're not doing that episode this season.
It's trivia, Jimmy. Fuck your family.
Yeah.
But so Lego Masters, Nick, did you watch Lego Masters season 1?
I watched about half of it last week when I thought that was the homework for last week.
Oh, that's right.
And yeah, I caught up on season 2, so I'm pretty familiar. I was thinking, what was it? Adam Scott or no? Nah, damn it, no,
Will Ferrell.
no, not
Well, no,
Will
not
Arnett.
Will Ferrell.
Will
Arnett.
Arnett. Which funny middle-aged white guy is he? The I think that's an inspired host casting right there. That's pretty good.
By the way, not
Oh,
for
yeah.
nothing, Will Arnett's Lego Batman will have to be in our. Remind me, it's going to be in our Patreon
Oh,
discussion.
that
he
guy fucks.
definitely goes down.
Nope. We're not now. We're going to talk about it later.
I do love that that they had that tie-in, that it wasn't just like, let's get a great TV and movie actor. Like, no, we had like a connection to that Lego franchise. But I gotta say, this like brand of reality TV, whether it's about Legos or cooking or whatever, Fox does this like the most tantalizing. Like their like formula for putting together shows, I feel like, is the most effective in terms of like pissing you off right before the commercial break for like no reason whatsoever. Like I don't care about this like mid act 1 plot point, but instead you're just like, I gotta see if whose tower fell. Whose is that?
Doubly funny on a Hulu plan with no commercials because it still goes to the dark seam right there,
Yeah.
and then back.
Yes. Yeah. Do you
Mhm.
guys remember when
That-
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was like a big thing? Like Entertainment Weekly covered it, and it was like the resurrection of the game show. And it just they had somehow found this like perfect like production of like spectacle, and like Lego Masters and Fox Reality seems to do that, but with like a level of like self-aware winking at the camera. Like it's got these big production values and all that, and money, and clearly they put a lot of money into it. But at the same time, Will Arnett is every time he talks is basically saying, "Can you believe they're paying us to do this?" But that said, the Legos as always are impressive. The brothers who made the
Damn,
two
that
dragons
thing was amazing. Yeah. Oh,
like they had it in the bag. There was like usually you're like there's a few are like
No,
oh
no.
it might be this one, it might be
Yeah.
that one. I'm like oh no, these guys are totally winning.
even though
this
it's same
round.
as last
Yeah.
season, I knew like, nobody was going home that first episode. But
Yeah, and someone almost should have, because there were a couple builds that were pretty bad.
it
That first.
sucks when people misjudge their scale. Like when they're building
Yeah.
something cool and they look around and they're a third the size of everything else, and they're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And like, oops,
Oh.
well, I don't care how intricate this is, it's just not going to come off. Same as last season, I love the whatever CG motion anime, the animated cities that they
yeah.
do, and I don't know quite how they're going about that. I'm sure Lego has their own animation engine
so-
at this point.
Actually, little background on 3D animation, the current like render engines, there are plugins for Legos that make doing Lego animation not really easy, but way easier than it was 3 years ago, like 100%.
I mean, it makes sense. That's something you could predict all the possible moves on and really, kind of make out of the box. But I love those. They really help sell the show. I absolutely love it. This season, I feel like the competitors stepped up. I mean, they've already kind of cut the weakest link for me by episode 2.
The one thing I was notably absent for me,
What's that?
there wasn't like the girl with the bright red lipstick and the polka dot dress, the beard dudes, like the Mormon couple. Like there wasn't the characters,
Oh, you want the weirdos?
Yeah, like everybody's good at Legos, but
The guy with the
Where's
man
the
bun
drama
weird
gonna be
ponytail
at?
thing, and the like.
who's the villain?
Well, we also hate each other. I'm like, okay, this will be cool.
That was kind of making it. Season 2 had that problem too, where it's like, okay, everybody's a great crafter, but like Nobody's weird. Nobody's like causing drama. Like there's zero Jersey Shore in this.
I'm actually okay with that because one of the things that drives me crazy about Top Chef is when they get the villains and I'm like, I hate this person and I want them gone, and clearly their food is good and that makes me angry. Like I don't want somebody who's like a total jerk but has the best Lego builds. Nah, fuck that. I don't want to see those guys on the show.
Oh, that's always the worst when they're talented and an ass.
What kind of person would be like an evil sociopath but great at building Legos?
That's what I want to see now. Like, I totally want like the game programmer from Grandma's Boy to like cruise in like
JP.
a Matrix jacket and like build and unfortunately build the greatest Lego thing you've ever like where the next day you realize you've been talking to his Lego robot for 5 minutes and he walks up beside and like, God damn it!
I do not want that.
But it looks like the robots from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yeah.
You're like, how did I get fooled?
Yes, it just Bogus Journey, but I just fall for it because I'm like, it's that good. Yeah.
The bad robots, not the lifelike ones.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
the evil robotesses.
No, the good ones, the janky ones. Like that's
Oh
the
yes,
clone
yes,
you're-
Stations, Stations Creations.
Creation. Sorry.
Please refer back to previous Patreons for what we're talking
yeah.
about there.
I don't know. This show's it didn't change anything particular. Like it's basically the same show, and I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
Although it sounds like I'm in the minority in not wanting evil Lego masters.
Well, the problem is like you're pretty much guaranteed that the
I am
Legos are going to
Lego
be
master.
impressive.
Yeah.
Like that's the promise of the show. So you get there and you're like, okay, we want somebody to light themselves on fire, or like who's gonna do a stunt or something.
Oh, not in a room of plastic bricks. That's going to be bad.
I think my opinion of the show's been painted by that Logan Paul fight and not getting to see that YouTube star get punched in the face.
See, I think what they need to do is they mix in a little bit of the not the chase. What's the one that's the
UFC.
what's that?
No, it's got the in the name too.
Yeah, the Hustler.
It's
They need to mix it.
The
They need to
Hustler.
mix in the Hustler, where there are 4 Lego masters and only 2 of them actually know shit about Legos. And they have to, and they basically pretend to be Lego masters, and you have to figure out which one of them is actually a Lego master and which one of them is just pulling shit out of their ass.
It's like you have 14 hours to make a weapon.
you want greatest game Lego master.
Yes, and who at
Well-
the end one of you gets like a like Spider Skull Island like livable Lego palace. And you are Lego master for a year. You have to defend it.
well, they did an episode where people built something to be destroyed.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love those.
right,
And
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
do that every week.
Oh man,
You're
some
at
of
the
them.
bottom, you get your
The
smash.
people that really figure out like which bricks to hammer in and which to leave loose and like build
Yeah.
like don't build the wall the way you normally would for stability. You're building it to explode in a particular way. Like not everybody's works out right, but when they do, it's like, oh god, I this is how Michael Bay has a job. Like holy shit.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like it's not just about who can build the most beautiful Lego. There's like they have the challenges. Like, well, this week's the Star Wars theme, and you got to do that. And this week the you got to build it to be exploded, and it's a whole set of skills around building Legos. It's very impressive.
It's a particular set of skills, and the last person to survive becomes the Lego master. I'm telling you, this is how this show should. Will Arnett would be down for this.
Les, you're trying to put this. You're trying to make this dystopian future Lego Masters. It's like Running Man Lego Masters.
Absolutely.
We'll get convicts to do it.
It's how the Animal Army's going to do it.
Yeah, you're like it'll be on next to Running Away from Dobermans or something.
Yes, pit bills.
Pit Bills. That's right. That's what it was.
I kind of now just want to see a Mythbusters where they try to make Legos lethal. Like, could you kill someone with a Lego?
Y'all, we've pitched like 8 different variants of Lego Masters here. So if Fox is listening, and I know they're not,
I hope you're listening, Brad Pitt.
They have to bring on a guest Lego master, Kevin McAllister.
The TVA is burning these down as fast as we can fucking say them. You know it.
All right, let's change direction. Let's talk about the other game show this week. Let's talk about The Chase. We talked about season 1, although Kyle, I think I don't know if we got your opinion on The Chase, did we? Was this before or after?
Chase season 1, I think, yeah.
I think you
that
did
was
weigh
game
in,
shows
okay.
last year, right?
Yeah, you were there. That was game. It was one of the game show
The
nights.
big
Yeah.
thing this season is that they added in the Beast, the British chaser.
Yes. But no, him particularly, he's gone and done the Australian version, and he did the first American version that was on Game Show Network. So they've actually passed him around. He likes to travel.
So he was on this week's episode, and he's mean. and I loved it.
he fixes the dynamic for me. So I did not like the episode or 2 episodes I watched of season 1.
Yeah.
The contestants are not Jeopardy champions,
Nope.
and something about the dynamic of Ken Jennings, like the professor last year, and so it just didn't work for me. It was like sort of friendly meanies giving these people challenges that they would never take the high money on, and then they'd lose anyway. And it's just like, oh, fuck. This season, something about the Beast, not only do I like that he's like an asshole to these people of just like, well, no, I mean, that one's carrying the team. I don't know why the other 2 are here. Like
he was right,
and
too.
he's dead on. Like he's just nailing him on it.
That's what makes it good.
But he also fixes the dynamic in the room. I don't know if the bow-tied bearded weirdo, that is like a sitcom.
The buzzsaw,
son-in-law.
Brad Rutter.
I don't know who that sitcom son-in-law is, but I don't know if he was in there last season or not. But he and the Beast and the Professor and the other gambler kid,
James,
like. Something about the Beast being in the room. It's not that he's shitty or mean up there with them, but their whole dynamic is better this season. I feel like.
Interesting. I thought it was interesting the one with the Beast, where basically I was watching the Cash Builder guys, and I'm like, man, you guys should not like. If I can do better than you, you should not be on this show.
I was really keeping track of how often I could have taken the like 220 or 230 or 300 grand.
Yeah. And here's the thing.
And there's only one fucking time in 2 episodes where I would not have taken 200 grand.
Here's the thing. I know that in the room, there's a lot more pressure, and you're like, it's probably easier to forget things and that kind of thing.
I hate the speed round. That sucks.
But the speed round, they never win it. It doesn't seem there's like no lead you can get that is insurmountable.
I have a theory as to why that is.
Because they don't have any money?
Well, no, because COVID. You know how there's 3 contestants? On the original British version, there was 4 contestants, so there was a chance that you would have 4 people doing the Cash Builder for the chase.
Gives you 4 spots.
And the more people, you build a lot more questions that they have to answer.
Well, and you start with a 4-person lead instead of 3, because you start with a 3-block lead when you have all 3 there. But you've also got
because even a 3-block, I've seen them like one of them did a 21, I think, or a 20.
Yeah.
On these first 2 episodes.
I think Ken Jennings, he
went like a 20 streak. Like at the end, he just
went all the way
through
down.
it.
Yeah. Yep.
There was a moment with in the Beast one where he missed 3 or 4, and they turn over, and that's an opportunity for them. But then they missed him.
And they talked about it in the room. I thought the guys were like, man, there's no way.
They thought Ken was fucked. The judges in the room.
The Beast had some bad luck on the Cash Builder round too. Like, there's no way those guys should have gotten through. And there were a couple that he just didn't know, and it was a little weird. I think it was interesting. The thing about the Beast one episode that I thought was interesting is that one guy came up and had such a terrible showing. The Beast just like wrecked him. Just talked about how terrible he was. But then when they got to the final round,
he
grabbed
that
like
mic.
Woke up.
Yeah. Like a junior high kid at a talent show, just choked on that thing and like ran through a bunch of questions.
And the guy who had just like built up their Cash Builder, who by the way I thought should have gone for the 320,000.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, that was a no-brainer.
But it doesn't matter what they go for because ABC doesn't have any money. They're clearly setting this up so that they don't have to pay it out.
That's what kills me about the show is like they're gonna build up like a quarter, like life-changing money, and then go home with nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Well, you know that this is set up differently than Jeopardy. So there's 2 ways that you can do game show payouts. One is where you budget it in. So like advertisers give you prizes, you give it out. Think of like Price is Right, stuff like that. Like your budget is people are going to win money, so you have to give money out every game show. Well, the way that like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire did it is you get insured. So you say, the insurance is going to bank on the fact that they're not going to know this many questions. So that was the problem with Jeopardy. Is that when those 3 guys came in and started winning a bunch, they kind of broke their system, and then they couldn't get insured. Also, on top of that, they couldn't get advertisers because they'd already sold the advertising from the previous season. So now they got buku ratings, but these guys, you got to get them off because they're winning too much money. So anyway, so this show is insured. They only, like, ABC doesn't have to pay out the winners. The insurance company does. But as you can see, insurance companies living kind of high on the hog.
Yeah, they are.
I just picture that Simpsons where Marge got on Jeopardy and like ended up like 50 grand down, and there's like Alex Trebek and 2 guys with baseball bats that are like, no, Marge, 50 grand.
Or like celebrity Jeopardy, like, well, unfortunately you have negative money, so monies will be taken away from your charity.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna go raid UNICEF.
If you want to step onto the adjacent set, we're filming Running Man. Could double or nothing.
I'm waiting for the Hustler to come back. That of the game shows we've watched, that's my favorite, and I can't wait for more of that. But this was fun. I'll keep watching it when I have like a lighter week or something like that.
So as of this airing, Hustler comes out the day before this. So that's tomorrow, Randy.
Wait, the Hustler's back?
Tomorrow, yeah. This Thursday of this week. So we're coming out Friday. Yeah.
I didn't know the Hustler's back that soon.
I know.
That's awesome.
Bummer we couldn't slip it in.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it too.
So let's talk about Lucifer.
So this is not a new season. This is the back half of season 5. So I don't know about anybody else, but I had a moment of flipping onto my Netflix, which, other people sometimes jump on the wrong profile or whatever. And I had a moment of like, who the fuck already in like hours since this dropped watched the first half of the new Lucifer season before I did on my profile? No, it was from a year ago.
Les, you thought maybe one of our patrons who watches more TV than we do, John, was it John Paul?
Right.
That dude watches. I thought Les watched a lot of TV.
No.
Good God, no.
No. I'm a model of restraint.
He could watch 8 episodes of Lucifer the time it takes you to get up.
But on my profile, it was a mystery.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
Anyway, so this is the back half of season 5, and the episode it actually comes back with, I thought was a little weak. It took me a minute to get back into it, but the second one back, I think we've got God on a futon. Michael's gone, so we don't have like slump-shouldered Nixon Angel.
I love that they call that out of like.
Yeah, it doesn't
Lucifer
work.
was like, man, you got a chip on your shoulder so big it actually affects your posture.
You manifested your posture. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, overall, I feel like the show is still in good hands with Netflix.
So are you in good hands?
Well, and it's also interesting because they thought this was going to be the end. So had they realized like it would have been a hit on Netflix and that they would have been able to continue on, they'd have probably held God back for, until their final season. But now it puts them in kind of a cool spot.
Yeah, same with the last Netflix season where it ended. I think their season 4 ended with him on the throne of hell. And we were all like, motherfucker, you gotta have more.
It's funny because like just the God coming in and being a ridiculously obtuse dad of like just
that's my favorite. So I only watched 3 episodes here. That was my favorite part is Dennis Haysbert playing the like daddiest of dads with like he's like, good for you, son, and he's just the most clueless dad in the world. And I'm like, you know what? This is how I view God. That seems about right.
As a moron.
Yeah, it's just because his view is so long that like he doesn't understand that you're not following. Yeah. And that like he's willing to take like a year for you to understand what he's talking or your whole lifetime for what he said to make sense. And like, that's infuriating. Fucking just say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just this one time. Don't answer my question with a question. And just answer. Do you love us? Well, like, God, no.
No.
And I'm like, God damn it, dude, just tell your kids you love them. It's not this hard.
I have to say, while I found that all very endearing, this all went a little Supernatural season 8 or whatever for me. Because I'm like, wait a minute. God's having trouble with his powers? He's God. He's not. You can do Lucifer. You can almost make me buy Lucifer as the head of a piano bar. And his power is to get people to tell the desire. Like, he's working for the LAPD. You had managed to win me over to this dumb shit premise. But God is having trouble with his powers.
You self-actualize, Randy.
And accidentally making people karaoke? What the fuck am I watching?
Well, that's the thing is that Michael is actually behind that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out, like, since you can self-actualize your own punishments and whatnot, it actually works on God, too. No one's above it. So Michael is like in his ear and
convinces him that it's shit spritzing, which makes his shit fritz out. Yeah.
Kyle, I would like you to defend the karaoke episode because I don't call it the musical episode because NBC just canceled a perfectly good musical show. and we got this shit instead.
So yeah, this is different. So this show notoriously has one character that's really good at singing. So obviously, everybody come along. We're doing music. But no lie, Randy, I wish you could have seen the callback in the season finale to the music episode. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go a little spoilery here.
No, you're fine.
But it was worth the music episode to have a scene in the last episode where God's gone and they're standing there and they just start duh, duh, another one bites the dust. And they like start singing really badly. And they're like, oh, God must be back. Look, another one bites the
it's
dust.
Hammers
It's
can't touch this.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, yeah, that's it.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun. And they all start to try and sing like, oh, God's here. He must be here. Look at all of us dancing.
They're trying to buy time. Yeah. And like, one of the angels, I think Michael looks up and is like, stop.
Can you hear that? Can't touch this. Can't touch what? Can't touch this. Can't touch this. My, music hits me so hard, gets me saying, oh my Lord, thank you for blessing me with a mind to rhyme and 2 fly feet.
Feels good when you know you're down. A super fly homeboy from the Oak Town, and I'm known as such, and this is a beat that you can't touch this.
It's gotta be Dad, right?
Yeah, no, she's right. God must be here making us sing. Dad has returned. All right, stop. Hammers out. No, I mean stop this nonsense.
Must be God.
Yeah. No, I totally thought it was worth the setup.
Man, all my affection for this show that was built over to watch the last season and a half that you guys got me to finally watch, I lost all of it in those 3 episodes. I'm like, man, this is just dumb. Much as I enjoy God's dad mode, I was out. And also, I mean, I did run out of time this week. There was a lot to watch, and I would rather burn through Sweet Tooth, which I did. But I don't know if I'll go back to this. Convince me I should go back to this season.
Well, they do have a
Okay.
neat concept of Amenadiel not wanting to be the new god. So when God retires, it's like, oh, well, who's up for it? Well, Lucifer. And you're like, that can't be a good idea. Like, I've watched this entire show, and I'm still like, that's not a good idea.
And I love that. So the way they play it out, Randy, is that everybody, like all the angels, everybody in heaven that could possibly have any say in a new god, is adamant that Lucifer's a terrible idea. But the only other person really up for it is Michael, and that is so much a worse idea. That you and nobody likes Lucifer for it. It is very much a like, fuck. Well, okay, you're not him. But even still, like, there's a lot of angels still on Michael's side, and that the whole thing ends in a big battle, and then, because you don't care about spoilers, you said earlier,
No, I don't. Not on this one.
This season ends with Lucifer raising the flaming sword as, like, new god. Like, he goes to heaven, which he can't do, and is reborn, basically, and is God.
So in season 6, is God gonna be working with a fucking LAPD?
It sounds like it. So to our previous discussion of shows that sound like 30 Rock setups.
Yes.
No, Randy, did you catch the barbecue episode where all the angels come to God's barbecue?
Awesome.
I did not, but that continues to go with the God is dad energy, so that's great.
The angel Gabriel is played by the bartender from Abby's.
Oh man.
And she totally plays it like, oh, you guys got any good goss?
Yeah, she's a notorious gossip.
Ironically, and I'm sure they did this on purpose, there's a kind of a mobster guy that hurts a main character this season, and he is played by God from Supernatural.
No.
Chuck. And I will say, out of this season, what happens with that character, we've spoiled everything else in this season.
Yeah, who is it?
Dan dies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They actually found a way to make that effective too.
I gave and they do a fun thing where they have like Dan's very bad day, like on a previous episode, where like everything goes wrong and Dan is like cowering, thinking he's about to die at the end of it.
Yeah.
But he survives it, and then Dan has a couple of episodes of like, I'm a new man. I can do fucking anything. It's a show. You know he's doomed.
Yeah.
Like, you're happy now. Oh God.
Although I did like the end of that episode where Lucifer ended up being behind it all. Of like,
yes, Lucifer just punks him.
And he's like, I get it, Lucifer. You had to teach me this thing about accepting fate and all this other stuff. And Lucifer's like, no, that wasn't what I was going for at all.
It's crazy, but I think I needed this. I've been in a really weird place for a long time. And I think I'm through it now. I can't explain it. But you really helped me.
Well, that's not why I did this at all.
Well, then why did you do all this?
Because you fucking shot me, Daniel.
Because you fucking shot me.
You fucking prick.
Remember last season when you fucking shot me? That's why I did this, to torture you.
But the stuff with Dan, I feel like even better than the dad god stuff, cracks me up.
Did we get Dan's apartment in previous seasons, or is that a new set?
No, I believe that is a new set. And the director's name...
That set is a joke in itself.
Is, and I can't find any references to it. Dan's whole apartment is obsessed with a director, like one director of all of these like terrible sounding Fast and the Furious type like B movies. And like Tornado Shark,
Shark Piranhas.
And I looked up the director's name that's on all of them, and it's just the set director from the show. So like it's clearly just an in joke on the show. But they have a running gag with like God kind of fucking with Dan about the fact that
was so awesome
that like God's wife in a previous season shared a body with the woman that Dan was in love with, and watching Dan try to ask of like, was there like asking
Amenadiel, like, was there some crossover there?
Yes, there was a. I don't want to discuss this with you because it's my mom, but yes, there was overlap.
And I love that God is not cool about it.
No, he like bursts him and then puts him back together, and like looks at Lucifer like he's fine, like he's not. You killed him. He doesn't know.
No, he knows. He definitely remembers.
I think he knows, man. I put him back.
Like, Dad, you just exploded a guy. I put him back together. It's fine. Jesus.
Mine to explode anyway.
Yeah, God and just like when he becomes mortal and he like tries to blink, it's like, Lucifer, where are you? Where are you? Like, oh God, do you know that when mortals close their eyes, they can't see anything? Like, at all?
Just the low-level functionary details that God has clearly not paid attention to. And yeah.
Yeah, the first time he's not omniscient.
He turned,
Like, oh, where did I put the power of all creation? It's like your dad forgetting where he put his keys, only it's the power of life in the universe.
Yeah. Yeah. All the dumb dad god stuff this season was just goofy and fun. I really can't wait to see what the fuck they do with Lucy as God. Also, why don't they just call him Lou?
Lucy's funnier.
Oh, yeah.
Lucy's funnier, but
also Lou doesn't sound like a British dude.
Hey, Lou!
Lucy does.
Yeah, he actually tried it with an American accent originally, and it came off like a pretentious asshole. And
you mean like Michael?
Like it wasn't entertaining, but then you just do it with a British accent, and now it's lovable. Asshole.
Yep.
I do question why Michael has an American accent, although maybe I should be questioning why Lucifer has a British accent.
I'm sure that's why.
Because he's a dick. Yeah, that's why.
Hey, do you remember how you first auditioned when I wanted to punch you? Do that.
All right. Jumping from Lucifer, let's talk to the other Netflix show this week, and that is the based on Jeff Lemire's comics, Sweet Tooth. Have you guys read these comics?
I read the first of the graphic novels.
I've read all of them. Don't ask me what happens because I don't remember.
I mean, I remember liking it. I generally like Jeff Lemire's stuff.
I liked it. Yeah,
but I didn't keep up with it. So when I saw the show was coming, I was excited about it, and then it took me several days to sit down and watch it. I don't know. There was something about post-apocalyptic plague, and the same reason I didn't really want to watch Utopia.
This is the comic book from Utopia, right?
right.
Yeah, I had the same thing, Les. I couldn't put my finger on it. For some reason, I was like, I don't know that I want to watch.
It's a plague show about a feral kid. Like, this is not my alley.
Yeah.
But that said, I watched the first episode and it hit me. I mean, I also have lost a bunch of people this year. It hit me in a really odd way. Yeah. And I basically watched the entire show in like a day and a half.
Yeah, I thought this was really, really good. Kyle, Nick, what'd you guys think?
Well, I didn't read the comics, so don't ask me about it because I will make it up. The show is good. I thought it was going to be very dour and depressing, which it is in certain points. But actually, there's enough of a heart to it, in regards to who's the kid that's playing Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, it's remarkable that I don't want to kill him.
The show revolves around him being naively believing in people and like this belief of like people can work together and impossible odds and all that, and then at the end of it where it's kind of shaken, where he figures out where he comes from, like it ends on a very like Empire Strikes Back of like, oh shit, this is did not go the way he thought it was gonna go.
Christian
but it all revolves around this kid. It's a lot of pressure to put on one kid actor, and he pulls it off, so that's good.
No, I was triggered by this too, not because of the like plague and the COVID type stuff, but I was kind of triggered by just the setup with this child not only being left alone, but like kind of having this, the road or the pursuit of happiness situation where you got like this desperate father who's like trying to keep a kid safe. And then to just see that kid thrown out there, and like you get half an episode where he's just like, I'm literally yelling at my TV, don't be a dumbass. And it's like, he doesn't even know what a dumbass is.
Like, but like duck or hide or something. And like, well, God, when he goes after the candy bar and like, oh, God damn it, kid.
Yep.
Even the one they're pulling with the string, like, you obviously don't have cartoons out in the woods.
Yeah, there were a couple moments where I'm like, God damn it, Gus, you're such a sweet kid, but you're such a dumbass here. But they win me back because as Nick was saying, or Les was saying, the whole heart of this Nick was saying it, this rests on believing this. You're like, this kid's belief in the faith in humanity and things being good in the face of just this awful shit is really heartening. Like, it really works, and it works he makes people around him become better. Like Jeopard is an ex murderer hunter guy who basically just wants to be left alone and basically falls in love with this kid.
And like I started to say a second ago, the other recent apocalypse show that was on, The Stand, which I had read the book of and loved. That first episode, with all its weird time jump shit, like it sets it up so weird and world builds it so strange, and it feels weirdly unreal. Even though, I mean, I realize like there's like dream sequences and odd shit, and there's somehow Sweet Tooth with its like kind of odd animal hybrids feels somehow more realistic to me than Captain Trips in The Stand. And
I agree. And they're using the same tricks.
But the pacing and the world building, they dole out tiny bits of info about, you hear, because of Abbott's code, we can come in and search your house for hybrids. And you don't really know what that is, but you like it. They start to dole out info about like, well, there's an Abbott and there's the scars on Big Man, and like these little bits of info that start to stack up the world. I felt like they did it exceptionally well while keeping me centered around this kid. It turns out what you needed to do was make the feral kid the star of the show, and I would like it. I had no idea.
Yeah. Also, the way they do the reveals, I think works really well. So like when we get I think it's episode 7 of 8, we get the reveal of Sweet Tooth's background, and Will Forte comes back, and we see the story of his mom and his dad and what that actually was, and what Sweet Tooth's like, what his early days were like. And like, man, it's one of those things where if I wasn't into the show, I'd be really frustrated they waited so long to tell me. But as it is, they've been doling out answers all along. And by the way, having James Brolin narrate the whole thing was genius, because it gives it a fairy tale feel that I think makes it also not quite so apocalyptic terrible. It feels like a fairy tale, and in fairy tales, dark things can happen. And it doesn't feel quite as real, even though
little
it feels
Guillermo
real.
del Toro-ish.
Yeah, for sure. Also, speaking of Guillermo del Toro stuff, it's gorgeous. This thing is beautiful.
From the flowers that come up with the sick, the shaking finger tell. Like, I like all of the ways their stuff manifests visually, but then just the cinematography when he's in fucking Yellowstone at the start. But even later in the season when they get to the whatever Valley of Sorrows, and it's just the blue flowers everywhere or purple flowers everywhere, and like that's with the bridge, that's just gorgeous.
Yeah,
catching a train, like there's some Journey and Natty Gann vibes here, and like it I got swept up in it. I was really almost every episode like made me feel funny.
I feel like they added some characters here from the comics that I don't remember the comics, so it's possible, but I think the story of Amy and her daughter is a little bit different in the comics, and I'm almost sure that the Sings aren't in the comics at all. And Bear, like the Animal Army kids, I don't remember any of that stuff.
I don't know.
Which may mean I need to reread the comics, but also I think they might have gone afield and actually in a way that really works. Like all those characters are really well developed and really interesting, and they managed to make everybody a little morally compromised, but I still want to root for them. I thought this was an excellent show that just gets better as it goes along.
The Sings give me great ways to see more of the world, like watching them and their neighbors really in a quick, personal way gives you a sense of like how bad things are.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I think about like how mad I got at Utopia for what I felt like it was doing with a post-apocalyptic setup, and how The Stand I didn't get mad at because it just didn't work.
Yeah.
This both works and isn't, like, I don't feel like is like spreading some fucked conspiracy the way Utopia was inadvertently going to do. I feel like this just touches on that fear of a great crumble and that sense of loss and that understanding now that like, oh yeah, you would never convince half the population that hybrids didn't cause, like, which chicken or egg came first here. You will never convince half the remaining people of.
I like the Sings of like the husband having to take over the research and realizing how horrific it is.
Yeah. What she's been doing.
What the cure for his wife has been costing and what it'll cost to keep going with it. And then I like the wife that she doesn't come right out and say it, but there is a certain level of fuck those hybrids. Give me that cure.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. It's the question is raised. It's like, it's not like he like has been doing this. It's he had a cure he didn't know the details of. And now it's like, it's a choice between experimenting on children or letting his wife die horribly. And that's a fuck choice no matter what. Like, regardless of who you are, that's a moral quandary. I'm like, you know what? I would have trouble with that. That's a tricky one.
I like that they show the wife like not being like, it's okay, just let me go. Like no, get that kid in here. Come on.
Yeah, she's like, what?
Like, all right, fine. So
Fuck
a slightly less kid-like one then. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bobby looks more like a badger. Let's do that.
Kyle, any final thoughts?
No, just it was kind of hard to watch. I just found myself just feeling so sad for the main character and all the kids in this, and just kind of it really like affected me in the same way Children of Men did, where it's just like it's like a depression deep down in the gut.
Huh, interesting. Did you get all the way through? Did you get to the end?
No, I made about 3 episodes in before I was like,
okay, because I feel like at the end they have a really nice moment with the kids where it's like it seems like everything all is lost and it's hopeless, and then there's this really like great moment of like hope and community. I'm very excited to see season 2.
They are all still imprisoned, are they not?
Yeah.
But they're together.
It's bad, but I can't wait to see where it goes.
You also get that moment of Big Man and what's her face going like, hey, rest up. Tomorrow we're going to get our fucking kids. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, there's a war coming in season 2. I hope they got a season 2. I assume they did.
I hope so too, but this reminds me of a slight diversion. We had talked about Jupiter's Legacy. The Jupiter's Legacy, the new comic came out this week, and it's got this hilarious editorial in the back from Mark Miller talking about how it's the #1 show in the country and how amazing Jupiter's Legacy is going to be. And when he wrote this, and when it was set to publisher, he had no idea that it was going to be just fucking canceled. And I gathered that Stephen S. DeKnight was fired, and somebody else finished out the show, and that there was all kinds of production issues. And apparently they like went over their obnoxiously high budget per episode, and they spent all the money. It still looked like shit.
On what?
Like, that's the thing. But no wonder Jupiter's Legacy isn't coming back. Like, it was Netflix's #1 show for a week, but they fucked things up so badly that Netflix was like, we're not giving you any more money for this show.
Did it cost that much to square off the crotches like that? Or
that's
what?
The In-N-Out truck for the animators.
You don't understand how expensive it is to put that much brown on the screen.
Okay, so let's jump over to what is going to be our dessert, or at least dessert for me and Kyle, and that is the Bad Batch over on Disney+.
Sounds like a pudding I don't want.
Kyle, you've not had a chance to weigh in on this. We talked about the Clone Wars episodes, but you've not had a chance to weigh in on Bad Batch. We last talked about it. There were, I think, 2 or 3 episodes, and now there are 7. So let's talk Bad Batch.
No, gosh, love kind of the new continuity that they've created, where they haven't really said screw the prequels, but Filoni and his main guy who he has on this, whose name's escaping me right now, they have just done such a good job with making it seamless, not only from the movies to the animated series, but from the Clone Wars cartoon to now the Bad Batch cartoon, which for all extensive purposes is essentially Clone Wars now. We just, are saying goodbye to some of those main characters and getting to follow our Star Wars Rambo and his crew. But yeah, no, they did a very Disney now owned Star Wars thing by introducing I hope I'm saying this right, Amiga, like the computer, essentially a clone who is a girl. I guess the first clone girl that we've seen, and she's a child.
Omega. Her name's Omega.
Oh, it's Omega?
It's Omega. They're just saying it with their crazy Kiwi accent.
Amiga.
I thought it was like the computer, the Amiga. Yeah.
Nope.
Omega.
It's Omega. It's Omega.
And she sounds so cute with her Kiwi accent. Like it is their surrogate Baby Yoda that they have for their show, and kind of their whole drive for this season is pretty much just keeping her okay. Which was a little disappointing because I was anticipating their sharpshooter was going to be kind of chasing them down. I forget that. Crosshair? Is that the character's name?
Mm-hmm.
Crosshair, yeah.
Yeah.
I can forget any of their names. Their names are so dead on the nose for Wrecker, Hunter.
Wrecker.
Echo.
Yeah. Rambo.
Hunter.
Oh, I remember Echo.
Hunter, Echo, Tech, Crosshair, and Wrecker.
God, those are ridiculously easy names. I am.
That way you know what they transform into.
That's right.
That's how you know.
It keeps the merchandising good, where we can easily identify the action figures.
Look, the Bad Batch is the Star Wars A-Team. That's what they are. They're former soldiers. They're soldiers of fortune. They've been drilled out of their military unit. The military is hunting them, and if you can find them, you might be able to hire them to help you. That's who they are.
And if the show was about the A-Team with the young Australian kid, I'd be really mad.
Well, it wouldn't work if you didn't have somebody to kind of balance them out. Like if it was just like a group of badasses.
The A-Team worked really, really well without a child.
Oh, pity the fool.
They had Mr. T's jewelry. That was their child.
Also, the A-Team had a kid. The A-Team had a kid every other week.
Oh, actually, that is a good point.
They just had rotating kids that they were helping.
Yeah, they just quantum leaped into the next one.
They also they brought in of late. They've got this informant who's a Trandoshan, the lizard people, the Bosk people, named Sid, C-I-D, voiced by Rhea Perlman, and I love her. I love that character.
Such good voice acting there.
They also did a riff on the Rancor, which I thought was really fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's like directly connected. Like that is totally the Rancor that Luke kills.
Yeah, it is. We see the Rancor. It's funny. This is the thing. Patton Oswalt had that whole gag about, I don't want to know where the stuff I love comes from. Like, I don't want to see the Rancor as a kid. And that should be true. But Filoni managed to make it work because this was super fun.
That makes me so mad of not only is it a Rancor, it is the exact Rancor that Luke kills. That is what kills my boner for this.
Oh, I know. You guys.
Stop giving me the rock salt, Randy. Just give me my ice cream.
You should not watch this show. You guys would hate it with every passing episode.
This sounds terrible.
I love it. And I'm so glad I have somebody back on the TV Dudes who will back me up on this because I'm loving this show.
No, it's right there in the name. Bad.
Real quick, so the little Sid's Cantina where they're hanging out at kind of towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
The character in there, is that the guy from the theme park that they made up for the theme park, Galaxy's Edge?
I don't think so, but it could be. There's the one dude I knew was in the theme park is God, I can't believe I blanked on his name, but the guy
I can't believe you did either. Randy, he came to your wedding. How could you forget his name? He's a canon character in Star Wars, invented for the theme park.
Technically canon, just like Blue Jeans guy.
the guy who
ice cream maker dude.
Hondo, who is from who's like their lovable smuggler type guy.
Oh, right.
He's like the big guy in Galaxy's Edge, and I love that he made the jump from the animation into theme parks. Not live action yet, but
I think it's just called Han.
No, that's Fast and the Furious.
No, that's Han Solo.
No, there's a Han in Star Wars, right? No, that is Fast and Furious.
Yes. Yeah. It's a Millennium Drift is what you're thinking of.
Yes. Like, watch that.
Did you by chance see the Simpsons Star Wars short?
Oh, wait, that's God damn it. That's just pod racers, isn't it?
No, this is pod racing, family.
The Force Awakens from its nap.
No. So
no, huh? I haven't watched that one.
Oh no, it's super good. It's like 3 minutes of just great Star Wars in jokes.
So Kyle, you made me think this was I was seeing like the final episode because they aired episode 7, and in fact I went look. It is a 16 episode season.
Well, that's what I was thinking, but
we've got 9 more episodes.
Whoa,
we got 9 more episodes.
That is real Clone Wars style.
9 more episodes for you and I can check back in on it. Talk about how great it is. Can't wait to see Luke's granddad in it or whatever, and for Les and Nick just roll their eyes as hard as they possibly can.
Luke doesn't have a granddad, remember? Anakin Skywalker was born of midichlorians Jesus Christ style, remember?
No, his granddad is going to be a midichlorian.
midichlorian.
Luke is
Why not?
Luke is an acronym.
Les, do you want to rewrite the Star Wars Fast and the Furious?
No.
Yes.
I'm good with that.
We were doing Millennium Drift.
I live my life a quarter light year at a time.
Quarter parsec at a time.
Quarter parsec, yeah, for sure.
No, we just want to find out how Luke's aunt joined the Nexium cult. That's the only backstory we need. And then all the prequels will be done.
But the question is, does Luke eat pussy?
Because he's a Jedi, they're not allowed to have sex or love, so no, unfortunately.
You're right.
You're right. Yeah, Jedis can't go down. Yeah, you're right.
I'd say, and depending on the movie and what Lucas knew.
So when they try it for the first time against their master's wishes, they're real awkward at it.
All those Jedi you've all heard of, all those badasses, they're all virgins. That's all canon.
Yep, that's true. You know,
not one of them has seen a pussy.
The first thing you do when you go to the dark side is oral sex.
Is it like the vegan superpowers in Scott Pilgrim?
Yes, yeah, it's exactly like that. Except the actual way to get more powerful is to have sex and become a Sith. So
I just love the idea that like Doctor Strange just can't get laid, and that's the only reason.
Gelato's not vegan?
Chicken parm's not vegan?
So if y'all would like a little more of this type of discussion, that's what's going to happen on this week's Patreon. I'm very excited and a little bit afraid. You can go over to patreon.com/tvdudes, throw us a buck an episode. You can listen to hundreds of episodes of content, including our discussion of Batman and his oral sex habits. But this is where we're going to wrap up for the week, guys. We're done for the week. This is kind of a longer episode. Thanks for sticking with us. Thank you, Kyle, for coming back.
Indeed.
It's good to see you again.
Oh, thank you guys for keeping the mics warm for me.
Yeah, I guess
Nick,
whatever.
Thank you, Les.
Thanks to you, dudes.
And thank you to our patrons. Thank you to our listeners. And until next time,
TV Dudes out.
The TV Dudes is an independently run podcast out of Austin, Texas. We are exclusively listener supported. If you'd like to help us out, go to patreon.com/tvdudes.
You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TV Dudes. All the music for our show is done by our friend and original TV Dude, Gregory J. Amani Smith.
To find out more about us, go to thetvdudes.com. I'm Randy Lander.
I'm Les Weiler.
And I'm Kyle Scott.
Thanks for listening.